sense, but the watching itself has power.
Okay, it could be true, but they say because a watching is true, and everybody eats corn or akple in our communities. So if a watching is used as a prayer point, then if you who has also eaten this thing, you cannot be against it. You have eaten it already, so if you are against it, you cannot overpower it. That could be there. But you see, like photo in as the book, quantum physics. A lot of people don't want to understand it, but we are getting there. Quantum in the sense that I'll do something here. There is no connection, there is no wire, there's nothing, but it can happen back in the US and it will take practical effect. So it's actually a science, but our people weren't calling it science, and also the Europeans didn't call it science. So that's why we thought it wasn't science, but it was a science, or it is a science. You need to put certain things together to generate energy, to create a point where when you use word, then it takes it to wherever you directed it to.
Yes, in French, before we do, I want human beings, and the human being will be penetrated into the force of this world, and you will fall down and die.
Unless you have given yourself to the Lord and are fortified by the Holy Spirit. That's the power economy.
Mais un morceau de l'homme tombe, frissonne, tombe et meurt, pénétré par la force profonde.
No, that's because this conflict, we call it flower. Yeah, this flower. Many people, even on the field, it has been done. We perform. This has been performed in order to call
Spirits.
not spirit, the ancestors.
Yes, they are also spirits.
Okay. You see, I
They are
am
also
Christian.
spirits.
I am Christian. That's why. So, in order to call the ancestors, so that they could allow them to speak to us.
Of course.
So they did it to call them because they are not. We were not there for any backup with it, and also they want to be free with us, to be open with us. They want to tell us because some of the time it is said you may not say some things the ancestor didn't allow you to see. So if you ask them, they will let you say everything freely, for free. You see.
Yeah, because the AV cosmology, the physical world is not that different from the spiritual world of the ancestors. They are all interwoven. That's why whatever we do, the ancestors are part of it in order to build on the whole. The we build a new rope by looking at the old one and then continue. So we don't cut the ancestors off from our daily activities. When I wake up every morning before I go out to do anything, before I even get out of my room, I call upon my ancestors, who I work with. I call upon nature that we should guide you through the day and bring you back home safely. And I think that is for every culture. People call upon their ancestors, but even though they may not call it ancestral worshiping, when we the English or maybe also other Africans, we believe that our ancestors are not dead, only that their physical body is no more here, but their spirit body is always around. So we could always call upon them to work with us or give us guidance. That's what we activate energy so that they can be strong and act. Water doesn't do that. Water is peaceful. Yes, and Jachi doesn't do that.
Yes, so I was going to go there. Judge and fire.
So to make the ejo, fire to burn is the appetition or the liquor. Then the spirits become active. Even in human beings, when people drink water and they drink alcohol, there's a difference.
And even in outdooring. So my son was outdoor.
My name is Christopher Voncujovi, the founder of Afrikan Magick. In every cosmology, nature is God, and God is nature. Because no one has seen any human being or any being called God. And God has expressed itself in nature. So what the AV says, Amma, Yenyo, means whatever you see in the world is what is God. That's what it means. Because there is no human or being sitting behind any cloud anywhere. That anybody, even the person who wrote the Bible was not born when the world was being created. There was no journalist. So how did he know what God was? Or who God is? They were not born when the world was being created. Then they were able to write stories how many days God took to create the world. How did they know? In the early cosmology, everything that we see is God. And even in the Hindu cosmology also, which I study, it's the same thing. That's why we say everything is God. You who is sitting there, you are God. That's why when the Hindu say Namaste, they say, I'm saluting the God in you. So, nature is God and God is nature. And when we say Amma, we are not talking about plants only. Animals, plants, stones, mountains, rivers. Because when a voodoo or a Dzoka is being formed, it is not only formed with plants. There are certain other things that add up to it to create a receptacle or a port or a point where an energy can be drawn into it to when it is activated. My name is Voncujovi, the founder of Afrikan Magick. In every cosmology, nature is God, and God is nature. Because no one has seen any human being or any being called God. And God has expressed itself in nature. So when the AB says, Amma, Yenyo, means whatever you see in the world is what is God. That's what it means. Because there is no human or being sitting behind any cloud anywhere. That anybody, even the person who wrote the Bible, was not born when the world was being created. There was no journalist. So how did he know what God was? Or who God is? They were not born when the world was being created. Then they were able to write stories how many days God took to create the world. How did they know? In the early cosmology, everything that we see is God. And even in the Hindu cosmology also, which I study, it's the same thing. That's why we say everything is God. You who is sitting there, you are God. That's why when the Hindu say Namaste, they say, I'm saluting the God in you. So, nature is God and God is nature. And when we say Amma, we are not talking about plants only. Animals, plants, stones, mountains, rivers. Because when a voodoo or a Dzoka is being formed, it is not only formed with plants. There are certain other things that add up to it to create a receptacle or a port or a point where an energy can be drawn into it to when it is activated. but you imagine a cop, is of Jani, Seregaji, and on Afrikan Magick temple. When we returned from home, I did not have time to pray to them, so they were still in the box until yesterday, where we put them out, and then we are traveling again today. So I'm just telling them that they know that we are traveling, so they should just make the road to cool down. Whatever we are going to go to do there, we should be successful. And Afrikan Magick Temple's name should also go in Togo.
Because anytime one travels,
yes, but anytime I travel, they are the ones that I ask them to guide the road so that I go safely and come back safely. So when we come back, then we pour drink for them.
And this is the tradition, is also this.
For every spirit, anytime you are moving away from your place, when you are traveling, you should. Oh, can we do better? My name is Voncujovi, the founder of Afrikan Magick Temple. In every cosmology, nature is God, and God is nature. Because no one has seen any human being or any being called God. And God has expressed itself in nature. So when the AB says, Amma, Yenyo, means whatever you see in the world is what is God. That's what it means. Because there is no human or being sitting behind any cloud anywhere. That anybody, even the person who wrote the Bible, was not born when the world was being created. There was no journalist. So how did he know what God was? Or who God is? They were not born when the world was being created. Then they were able to write stories how many days God took to create the world. How do they know? In the early cosmology, everything that we see is God. And even in the Hindu cosmology also, which I study, it's the same thing. That's why we say everything is God. You who is sitting there, you are God. That's why when the Hindu say Namaste, they say, I'm saluting the God in you. So, nature is God and God is nature. And when we say Amma, we are not talking about plants only. Animals, plants, stones, mountains, rivers. Because when a voodoo or a Dzoka is being formed, it is not only formed with plants. There are certain other things that add up to it to create a receptacle or a port or a point where an energy can be drawn into it to when it is activated. When we say buying a job or this osa a job means they sold it to you, but by selling it to you, it's not like just like giving money and then they give it to you. They have to do something for you, and then you must, if they're going to give you that thing, you have to pay. Then they give you something in exchange. They give you the power in exchange. So when we are talking that he bought things, we are not. I'm not really understanding the point of buying, because in every when they say "osajo" now means you bought the power from somebody, and money has to exchange hands, and it depends on what kind of joker. Some will be cheap, some will be more money, like we saw in the speech collection, that some were very expensive because of this. So in everyone they all sajo now. So it's not like you just go on the street and you give money and you collect it. So we should put this one in context all the time when you are saying speech bought the items. It's like a goat or a sheep. And that animal can maneuver.
but the watching itself has power. Is it true?
Okay, it could be true, but they say because a watching is true. And everybody eats corn or apple in our communities. So if a watching is used as a prayer point, then if you who has also eaten this thing, you cannot be against it. You have eaten it already. So if you are against it, you cannot overpower it. That could be the but you see, like people do in as a whole, quantum physics. A lot of people don't want to understand it, but we are getting this. Quantum in the sense that I'll do something here. There is no connection, there is no wire, there's nothing, but it can happen back in the US and it will take practical effect. So it's actually a science. But our people weren't calling it science, and also the Europeans didn't call it science. So that's why we thought it wasn't science, but it is a science, or it is a science. You need to put certain things together to generate energy, to create a point where when you use word, then it takes it to wherever you directed it to.
Yes.
In French, before we go, what human beings, and the human being will be penetrated with the force of this world, and you will fall down and die.
Unless you have given yourself to the Lord and are fortified by the Holy Spirit.
I mean,
That's the power economy.
Mais un mot sur l'homme, et l'homme tombe. Frissonne, tombe et meurt, pénétré par la force profonde.
no, let's because this conflict, we call it flower. Yeah, this flower. Many people, even on the field, it has been done. We perform. This has been performed in order to call
Spirits.
not spirit, the ancestors.
Yes, they are also spirits.
Okay. You see, I
They are
am
also
Christian.
spirits.
I am Christian. That's why. So, in order to call the ancestors, so that they could allow them to speak to us.
Of course.
So they did it to call them because they are not. We were not there for any back forces, and also they want to be free with us, to be open with us. They want to tell us because some of the time it is said you may not say some things the ancestor didn't allow you to see. So if you ask them, they will let you say everything freely, for free. You see.
Yeah, because the Ebe cosmology, the physical world is not that different from the spiritual world of the ancestors. They are all interwoven. That's why whatever we do, the ancestors are part of it in order to build on the whole. The we build a new rope by looking at the old one and then continue. So we don't cut the ancestors off from our daily activities. When I wake up every morning before I go out to do anything, before I even get out of my room, I call upon my ancestors, who I work with. I call upon nature that it should guide you through the day and bring you back home safely. And I think that is for every culture. People call upon their ancestors. But even though they may not call it ancestral worshiping, when we believe this, or also other Africans, we believe that our ancestors are not dead, only that their physical body is no more here, but their spirit body is always around. So we could always call upon them to work with us or give us guidance. That's what we activate energies so that they can be strong and act. Water doesn't do that.
Water is peaceful.
Yes, and Jachi doesn't do that.
Yes, so I was looking for the
Judge and fire.
Uh-huh. So to make a joke, fire to burn is the appetition or the liquor. Then the spirits become active. Even in human beings, when people drink water and they drink alcohol, there's a difference.
And even when outdooring. So my son was outdoored, the Galway, and when he was 8 days old, my friend Kotusena was there, and he made him taste a bit of appetition.
Yes.
And a bit of water.
Honey
so that you
and
learn
water
to
or
know the
something, yeah.
difference. On the 8th day, Friday.
Yeah, because they're just trying to tell you in this world, the world is hot. You will come across difficult situations. But at the same time, the world is also peaceful if you choose peace. So that alcohol, to tell you that the world is not as peaceful as you are looking at it, it is hot. And then the water is the one that is going to cool down that heat. So you have to know how to balance yourself between these two as a human being, that there is heat, there is coldness here, but you take the middle path. Where you need to be hot, be hot. Where you need to cool down, cool yourself down.
And now, me too, I have something. Do you use also some in this spirituality? I will take it from Haiti.
Yes.
People in Haiti, they are performing also our traditional.
No, they are our people. It's not that they are performing our tradition. I was going to talk about the Reginald Crawford or something, Crossley. Reginald Crossley is a medical doctor who came from Haiti, but he practiced in the US. And he's a very, very, very powerful voodoo priest as well. So he wrote a book called Voodoo, the Quantum Leap. When you go in there, you read a lot of things that he has written about what voodoo can do and what cannot do. If
realistic for me like that, 1, 2, I cannot figure it. It is something, you know. And if you compare it to your world,
yes,
it is a certain knowledge behind it.
There is so much deep knowledge about the unseen world, the invisible world that is still yet to be explored. There's so much. So for me, from early age, I was very interested in spirituality. I was interested in science as well, and mathematics. I was good in school, very good for that matter. But I liked the spirit thing. So from childhood, I started practicing invocation. Even before coming into traditional African spirituality, I was already practicing invocation, where we put the seals, the sigils of entities, put them down, put a rainwater in a glass, and then try to concentrate to see if you can see something in the glass, and things will appear.
yeah.
Just like how my mirror that I have, I brought it there.
I saw you brought
Yes. The mirror is like a television. Once you are initiated into it, they put the spokes of a bicycle. They will cut it, 2 small pieces. They put it on your nose. Then they squeeze herbs on it. Then they start to say some incantation. It will just go into your head. It forms an antenna, just like how satellite is today. So it's in your head, and it forms an antenna. So the moment you start to recite the incantation, and you direct the spirit in the mirror to wherever it goes, and then it starts to bring you information.
But now my personal plea, I don't know how to, is that we move on in a certain way, that we make those knowledge popular. We make out of that.
You can make it popular when people are willing to learn.
You know, Germany, they create sciences easily. someone get used to publish book, and he gathers a lot of knowledge, and it will become Bibliothekswissenschaft, book Wissenschaft, things like that. He's fighting against the small woman, the small lady.
No, they are all males here. Everyone here is a male.
Why is
The female are inside here.
why he is beating him?
Why did you gather all men?
You have something.
They will give problem.
So, for this water,
The jachi.
the jachi, what I do is peaceful.
Yeah, it's supposed to be for peace.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why. Yes. See, that's what I was. When you use alcohol and you pray finish. First we pray with water. Then we pray with alcohol. And then we tell the spirit world, that the spirit world as well as our ancestors, that the alcohol is to empower you to fight and defend us from negative things. Drink does not bring say good things. Then after that, then you use the water now that ours is water, peace. So take this one and bring peace into our life. But the alcohol, use it to fight our enemies.
When somebody is possessed, it's a jachi that they use.
Come and possess the person, you pour alcohol on the leg of the person, so you give the heat. Then the person get possessed. And when it is overboard, here you pour water to cool them
I was
down.
just saying it because of what I witnessed and
Yeah.
during Teza, when they're doing the matter, some people just get possessed.
Yes.
So on the street,
Somebody is-
jachi, either they sprinkle it
Yes,
or they make
or-
you drink it,
yeah.
then you are cool. But then when I asked Dzoka, he was telling me that the jachi is what is cool, like
that's what they call jachi fafa.
Exactly. So
Jachi fafa.
jachi fafa. Okay.
Yeah. It's supposed to be. So we will start first to go to Legba. The Legba Dzoka. The Legba we have been talking about. I have 3 Legbas.
Will you give us a tour?
Yes, that's what we're going to
Tell
do.
us how
Yeah,
this
so you
works.
can link it practically to what you are doing. I know you have been to the field, but that one is my children, my grandchildren. They are always out. Yeah, good. My eldest daughter, Tara. Yes. And then
This is our
Elion is the next daughter, and then Enam. Okay, then Enam. She is a Bokor, and the small one too is a Bokor already, and it's yet for my granddaughter.
granddaughter need to come to Lomé.
Yeah.
Can you visit us in Lomé?
And these are my grandchildren, all of them here. Hey, go. Koi. Tara, about for you.
It's not you.
And I'm training.
Which one is?
My granddaughter.
Which one is
I think I don't know, but I'm paying the school fees, but I don't know this.
Always
It will be always solo.
So, us a little bit what we are going through now.
Yes, what I'm going to do is that the Legba, as we were saying yesterday, is supposed to be the security at the gate to defend the house or to defend a community. If it is set up as a communal or community Legba, then it's supposed to be either at the front gate to the community or at the back gate to the community. It is not usually what people say, the one in the center of this thing is not the Legba. That is the Apeli. Apeli is usually in the house. But Apeli also is regarded as Apeme Legba. Apeme Legba. Okay, this one here is my Apeli.
So do they play the same role?
Almost the same role, but the one at the gate is called Agbonu. Agbonu Legba, being more of a security for things that will come into the house to prevent them from negative things that will come to prevent them. This one is supposed to work in the house and make sure negative things do not occur. And then I have the small one here, facing the corner there.
Zema.
It's inside. You can get up and see. Yeah, this is my son. He's also a Bokor already. He start doing reading already. Yeah.
So we got already scanned by the one outside.
We have been scared.
There is everybody. There's a Legba here.
So, da sind wir dann. Ne? Ich musste echt den Weg wiederfinden, Silke. Das ist alles neu.
So this Legba is not a far Legba. So if we want to call it in the normal way, every way, it is only a Dema. Dema.
Also from Utrecht.
Yes. And we call it Ezume Legba. Ezume means where we do spiritual initiations. Ezume is where we do spiritual initiations. If we want to initiate people into any serious spiritual things, then go inside. And everything is done here. And the work of this one is to make sure no negative thing goes in. And if people go in there and they happen to confront anything negative, the thing will not overcome them. Sometimes sometimes they brought people from the hospital who were almost at a near death point, and some were even blind because of the condition they were in. And I would just take them in here, pray here, and I start everything. But before we know, they get strong and come out walking through here.
Was this Legba always here?
Yeah, it has always been here
But
before,
the
but it
whole
was
surrounding has changed.
yes, it's because we changed we expanded we brought it forward. Before the Legba was showing in the front,
Exactly, that's
so
what
now
I
we
said.
have moved because the place was becoming small when we are becoming big when we do annual rituals. People come to do, and we are inside it. So we decided to bring this, and there's Legba, we cannot move it, so we we did it this way. So it's hiding there. Yeah. So this one is actually, it came from Akpo. You know, people were talking about Akpo. The Akpo is one of the most powerful spiritual entity. And inside the Akpo, we have maybe about more than 100, 200, 300 spirits. And each one has its own work. So the Akpo, when I was initiated into the Akpo and I set up my shrine for that, then this Legba was moving forward. So it is not a far Legba. So it is more like a defending tema because Legba is a common name used for anything made with clay and all this, so that's why we are calling it Legba.
I can remember that far away in, I think, 1998, when my father was going to build his first house. He asked someone to put make Dema in the house.
Yes, that is it, exactly.
But I didn't know that it can be a Legba.
It can be a Legba, but most of the Demas, usually they bury it in the ground. They don't want anybody to know where it is unless family members, because that is the anchor of the residence or the house and the security of the house. So it is kind of hidden from outside. And so there are some Dema, if you plan evil and you come into the house, you just fall down and you paralyze. There's a spirit at the gate there, it's in the ground there. If you steal something and you go out and you come back again, you start walking with all your force. Then we know that you are the one. It's not like we are going to ask you, but the thing will catch you. Then you will start to walk like an animal. Then we know that you are the one who took it. We are not going to shout who took it, who didn't.
This is Afrikan, isn't it? It's not Afrikan.
No, it's a Hebiaso voodoo. Yeah, it's a Hebiaso.
That one?
No, this one, no, there's one there.
This one is Dema.
This one is a kind of a Dema for the shrine.
But Dema can be set up also without representation of Legba.
Yes.
Because this
You don't need to make a listen, but the family people, your father will have to tell you where the point is.
I don't know that.
So that whenever you want to say anything, you can pray there so that the spirit will wake up and follow your direction.
So
Like the
means
stable.
Yeah.
So
After ho.
The house is stable.
The house to stabilize the
stabilizes
house. The stabilizer of the house. Yeah.
And Dema is Ama.
It's also a Dema. Is also a peli.
It's an apeli.
But it is Ama.
It's Ama. All is Ama.
Ama.
Yes. But the some Ama may not have herbs.
Okay.
They may be stone.
Okay.
But they call it Ama.
yeah, that's how you said.
Yes. It may be a stone that they will put there. Most of the time, lihakpe. Because liha, by itself, the combination of that stone is believed to have some spiritual functioning. And I think in liha also, if they look into it, they can find iron.
Yes.
So that one is usually used. It's a combination of small pebbles that form a very strong culture, and we use it a lot in every spirituality because it is natural spirit on its own. Talk about the spirits.
Yeah, it's about the photos by heart, but you are very free. You are talking.
One thing is that the project we are doing, we are all part of that project, and my spirits are all aware that you are coming here today. So, and before I left for Germany for the first time, I told them when Antonio was here, they were aware of everything. So when I am talking about the voodoos, there's nothing secretive or something you have to worry about. The voodoos will not agree. They are all aware of whatever I am doing because at the end of the day, I am representing all of them. Because if I don't talk about them, nobody knows them. But when I represent them, all the voodoos that I talk about, I represent them. So there's no problem about that. Most of our people who are in their shrines, they still have this fear to attach to it, and maybe one is to get respect. Another one is also to tell you, hey, don't come near, we are dangerous people. Yes, of course, voodoo is dangerous, as I said earlier. It's very, very dangerous. It's a two-edged sword. It can cut this way, it can cut this way. It can do good, it can also do bad. It depends on the way you handle it. And your own voodoo can kill you too. It's not only going to kill other people. If you are not very straightforward with your life and you are trying to play games with people, if you are having real spirit, they will destroy you.
Perhaps This is the challenge.
Yes.
This is the challenge.
That's why usually in the olden days, they don't hand voodoo to children because they don't know how to live their life yet. So when you hand over a voodoo to them, they may make mistake and they either destroy themselves or destroy other people. That's why our ancestors hid a lot of things from our people and they died and took them away, and now we are struggling to get them back, and now we are finding some in the museum.
Do they set rules for you when you get them?
The rules are there from the beginning. Once you are going to get a voodoo, they will tell you, this one that we wear. The first rule is don't plan evil for no one. The second rule is don't plan evil for no one. The third rule is don't plan evil for no one. But the spirit also is giving you assurance that anyone who will plan evil against you, I am here to defend you. So why plan evil? Just be free, live your life, do all the good that you can do. And if someone plans anything evil or negative for you, the spirit is there enough, strong enough to defend and protect you. Okay, so this is my Jachi. Jachi amije mi vo kabakaba. Play amije.
No, yeah, the good. Two different. Oh, yes, we use it very commonly, even in the bucket.
Okay. So this is the Legba and the Dzoka project. This is Legba. Some people are calling it a shoe. That's another Yoruba word for it, a shoe. The Legba is a shoe. And this one here is Afa Legba. When I got initiated into Afa, then they made my Legba for me. And the Legba is the one that takes all the sacrifices that we do for people, whether they are sick, they have challenges or whatever, and we have to bring it to Legba, and Legba takes it into the spirit world and hand it over to whoever needed to be appeased. That is his work. And then it is here at the same time as the gate man, the senior gate man here, for that matter. So it's always, for Legba, it's always supposed to be at the outside of the house or outside of the shrine or outside of the town. So I'm going to pray to Legba and then we'll go inside. Oh, ago Legba ajigbosu. Eba meno mi ji medo ango solo, ango kpla emi kpla medo ago. Oklinko. Agbe Legba be agbo be vu ke akpe Legba agbo be jire me ke zando Legba agbo cho avo vuvu kla reko. O anyina makazo ewu de kpoto de. Agbo adi esu ila ilu, ezume legelege. O me yora kekeke Legba agbo. Jachi na kekeke lo. Ebe ne fami no lo. O nyatefe egbe mia Legba Dzoka project to mi le brima yi le gbogbo le ubazi museum amechichi opete over egbe mi le gbedora now. Bo yo ba mi echo mi ide ho mi ba wonu mi gbova ko be kla wa fijo mi gbova kwa mo che bo wa dogbe na mi ta mi va gbo ba fe nefa lo egbe nefa ame yo pete ba fi de se me ne jeji now mi o le didi le agbe mere nefa me now ngogbe yi never agbe ne no agbe tefe now la me sese ne no si project ile wo mi le de mi we ne keke me ne se mi abe nkolo mo no hu gongongongo jachi now lo. Oh, me do ago, me yo afana gonu. Afagbo majezo. Opekwe zu pekpere to mozo le me edakpa bidi. Me yo poligbe meji, eyeku meji, woli meji, di meji, loso meji, ngoli meji, abla meji, akla meji, guda meji, sa meji, ka meji, trupe meji, tula meji, lete meji, che meji, fu meji, poliche tula meyo. Clever video comme pour toba do bo. Am toba de ma fo ne dilo. Chachi na ke. Oh. Na mami je. Oh, that film. De kodere macho. Yo, ikwe ya. Chichi obere amije meje gajire gamegase na olo. Na anyase sese lekeleke bi mo le takpo na mi jejire ko le be mene bobo no tro ere trolo no am sese na mi apa mi na mene bobo na mi lo ya mi je yin sia mene bobo gong lo eba. So we do this one, they eat the jomi, spirits eat amije. Yeah, we call paper. So we can now, if you have any question to ask about the Legba that you were talking about for so many years, tell me.
Thank you.
What
is the composition
of Legba?
Yeah, of your Legba. This is the first question. And then after I will talk about this important tree. Anyway, plants.
Okay.
I know we will call it potima.
Anglo people say amaga, avia. Okay. Avenya. Avenya. Okay. And then Togo and Benin, Patima. Okay. It's the same. And the English is boundary tree. Boundary tree. Yeah. That's why we call it Avenya in Eve, because we use it to demarcate boundaries. Okay. So it's a Avenya, so that you can divide Avenya. So it's called boundary tree in English. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Yes. So you say the composition. The Legba here is a molded one with cement and all the same. Was very small at the beginning, but over the years, while you are pouring corn flour, blood, palm oil and all this thing, they start to grow. They heap on it and it becomes big. Yeah, but there are some people who chose to make their Legbas very big, but we let it grow. And sometimes when it is getting too tall, we cut it down, we shape it, and then we continue. Yeah. So it is just combining of oil, corn flour, water, palm oil. But Legba does not drink alcohol. Why? Legba doesn't drink alcohol. Peace, because of peace? Or? Yes, it's supposed to. It is a very dangerous thing, as you are seeing it there. If you start giving it alcohol, it can do many, many bad things. You see, it has clubs. That's the one when you want to send it to go and beat somebody, and you see that somebody will wake up in the morning, cannot wake up well.
And what did you give them? Is that sacrifice?
Yeah, these were some people who came and they had to do a sacrifice to the spirit world. And as I said earlier, Legba is the messenger between the physical world and the spirit world. So whatever those spirits wanted, they have told us in the Afar reading, in divination, so we know. So that is what we will bring to Legba and ask Legba to take it to them. So Legba is the one who received all the sacrifices and take it into the spirit world. Yeah, that's why this one was some that we did. It was even up to here, and I told them to clean it down because it's too scary. Sacrifices, and we are bringing here, so it carries a lot. And once in a while, we remove them all, then we bury them in the ground, and then we start again. Yes, we dig holes here, and then.
But there's also a pipe. Is that for a plant, or do you feed the spirit through it?
No, there's a. This is a. You see, they were bringing the electricity street lights. So they realized that one has fallen here. But when they saw this thing here, they said, no, They are scared, so they move it to. That's why they left the pipe here like this. So under it is electrical wire connection there.
It is good that they respect your.
If you don't respect, it's your own problem. we don't have any problem. Yeah. So even before they would dig anything through here, they normally come and ask us permission if they can dig it. And we tell them you can dig it, but the moment you finish digging, close it immediately. Don't let it stay over. Yes.
I want to ask them, they need to represent the spirit.
Yeah.
Can we do it without? Can I have a Legba without representing it?
Yes, it's also possible, but you see, the human mind can easily associate with physical things than just mental things. It's not everybody who has that strong mental capacity to be able to remember and associate. But when physically something is there, it is easy for people to relate and associate.
That's Catholic minds. That's how the Catholic did do also.
Yes.
2 questions.
Yes.
The first one. The last time this Legba did not wear the chains. Are there?
It's a bead.
Yeah, the bead.
Yes.
Is there any meaning?
Yeah, it's also a sacrifice. Somebody came and Legba needed to have a bead in order to send to spirit world, so we give it.
Individual what?
Yes, individual one.
The second question.
Yes.
What is this box about?
There was a coffin here. Go and show you the coffin. There's a coffin in that corner.
It is a coffin.
Yes, it's a coffin for sacrifice. In the sense that there was someone who a reading was done and death was ready to capture the person. So we did the reading and they say the only way we can let death spare that person is for the person to bring the cloth that they wear at night. They have been using covering themselves at night. So death has identified that cloth, that this is the cloth this person is wearing. So when it comes, it knows who to take. So we made a coffin, we did all the sacrifices, and we used this cloth to wear for the coffin. So when death comes, death will realize that the person is already dead, so I don't need to take him away. That is why this is here. And this all comes through divination. It is only through the divination that you know what to do. So it's a divination that directed us, this is how we can do it. And we did it, and the person is fine and very strong and happy. So our science is deeper than just the physical science. Yes, that's why I'm saying it is quantum. Yeah.
But I don't know. I want to associate the Legba with that herbs, because that herbs, I know it a bit.
Yes.
It has also some power.
Naturally, it has power.
Exactly. What kind of, have you planted them for in a good, for
no,
intentionally
it grew there by itself. It's not that I planted it, but sometimes we harvest it and use it, but it is there. I try to cut it off, but it always comes back, so I just left it there.
It can become another throne for you. I think.
Oh no, it's just creating. It's just creating that kind of environment that the Legba is not in the city, it's still inside bush. Is it the one? Yes. The seed fell and then
So
it grew there.
Legba should be in bush.
Some people's Legba, because our villages in the olden days were villages, and the Legba is supposed to be in the front of the village, so it's already in the bush there before you pass there, before entering the town or entering the villages. Yeah. So for me, when it came like this, I just left it so. It's not that I planted it intentionally. Yeah.
You said something a few days ago.
Yes.
Legba can be on the outskirts of the town. It can also be in the middle of the town.
In the middle of the town, usually it's not called Legba.
Okay,
It's
like
called
in
Apeli.
the big one in Agbosame, which seems to be very in the middle of the town. You come from the police station to Stroom.
Yeah, a lot of people will call it Legba, but in reality, it's not called Legba because Legba has become the common name for anything that they put cement or this thing over. But when it is in the center of the town, it is never Legba, and if it is inside the house too, it's not Legba. It's called Apeli Duli. The normal name will be Duli, the foundation of the house, of the town. But people later translated it into Dulegba, Dulegba. No. In our Ewe language from the, what do you call it, Central Ewe, Vedome, we will not call the one in town Legba, we call it Apeli. Apeli. And usually they have names.
Maybe I'm mistaking now to term.
No, it's not you. Everybody made that mistake. It's not you. It's just
the Aveli.
Yes.
I thought that is also the Legba that you have at the entry of an house.
The Dulegba.
Not the Dulegba.
The Apeli?
The Legba, the specific name for the Legba, when you enter somebody's house and you have
if it is in front of the person's house, it can be Legba.
Yes.
Because it is in front of that, but that is an individual house's Legba.
And that is not also called with an A. There is a name for that Legba, no?
That is no, the one that is outside. If it is made as a protector of the house, it can be called Legba if the person has afa.
Yeah.
But if the person doesn't have afa, they can call it Apeli.
Apeli, yes. That's why
you can call it Apeli.
Yeah.
But only Afa Bokor and also a whole town usually have what we call Legba at the gate. But the one that in the center of the town or in the house is usually in a Vedome we call Dema, Woba, or Apeli. These are the three names that Ewe is in Evedome, usually. But because Afa became very strong and very common in the southern part of Ghana, everything is called Legba. Small.
Because it's all Ewe and
Yes, I understand.
So the Legba is outside of the town.
Yes, and outside of the house.
The town can grow. So if it grows and outskirts the Legba, they have to remove it.
Usually they will want to remove it, but before they can remove it, if it is a Legba for the town and the town outgrows the space of the Legba, like in my village in Hohwe, the one that they had was not Legba, but it was Apeli. And the town has outgrown the distance. So it's now in the center of the town. And nobody is tempted to remove it. There was one in Alabama where my uncle, my father's junior brother, was in charge. And they were going to make a road. So they paid him money to move it, to shift it. And he did, and not long he died.
So in this case, does it remain called Legba?
No, because usually Legba is all called Apeli. Legba is only connected directly to Afa.
Yes, because at the first time it was Legba because of the village, the small village.
Yes, but it is whether it is Legba or it is Apeli is what we don't know. Because if there is no Bokor who is Afa Bokor in that town, it cannot be called Legba. So if it is set up as Afa thing outside the gate of the town, then it's called Legba. But in Evedome, we didn't have Afa. It was the southern people who has Afa. Evedome, we did not have Afa at all. So we used to have Apeli, Eduli. Those are the things we have. Legba, concept of Legba only came out when our people started dealing with southern people who has Afa, and then the word Legba became recent. It is not our Evedome. We only have a Duli, Apeli, and all these things, but not Legba. But now everybody call them Legba. Yes.
I have a last question.
Yes.
Perhaps I can ask also.
You
know, in the German colonial time, there was a flag. The flag, the German colonial flag, there were three colors. The black, the white, and the red.
Yes.
And I noticed you all, apart from the whites, you all have this type of colors. What's the meaning spiritually of these colors?
These colors are the colors of nature that our people related to. This color are the colors that our people related to and have names for. Enuhi.
Yes, the white.
White. Enuhi white. Everybody can know what is Enuhi. Nuyibo black. Nujen red.
So the main colors.
Yes. Because if you are going to talk about blue, there's no blue in our colors. Green, we don't have it in our colors. We describe it. Amakpamumu, bejesi. Like a nuyibo, nuhi, nuje, evuleje, ayingbale yibo. Hekele, hede. So these colors are the colors that our people had associated with from time immemorial, from the beginning of the world. So they use those colors to represent spirits. So when we go into yellow, Donti color, green, Amakpamu color, blue, Achafu color, lo Jingo color. So it is a description. It has no direct name in our languages. So that's why these three colors are very, very strong.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's go into the. Okay, Madok Berana Ezumele Basia. By Molly, me about Chon Sarali Nabari, where by the Bekwa.
Zume.
The word like it's like the theater where they do operation.
Gano Chipo. I'm an Ephasia. Hanam. I can tell the sky to do changes. Yes. Hello. For those here, Jachifa Faelo, Jachere, Sese, Nagabao, the cabin of Felicia. Hammer for the Jachifa Faelo, no one million Potanelo, Menefa. Okay, go. Yeah. Okay. Memako, me do a Peliboko, me the gallery. We call it a Zume Legba. There are some people in their whole shrine, it's only this one they set up and they do all their work with this one alone. And it is working. Yeah. But I have so many things. Some from the north, some from the Kotokoli people, from the Kabiye. I have so many things from every. I'm ready to get in. Bokor, welcome. Yes. These things, they want to worry me.
Hello.
How are you? They are trying to get. Yeah, it's a very dangerous one. So we separated it from the.
Can these spirits possess the goats?
No. If they will possess goat, then they will kill it.
And they will
the spirit eat goat.
And they eat. Okay.
Apeli mindo jachi vemini apeli bo. That's Apeli, but it is Afa. It is related to Afa. Bien des femmes on deko. no con the comako.
I can hold it.
Oh no. Take your hand.
This is just for the goats, huh?
Yeah, to protect them, because if I don't do it, they be eating the herbs. Kofi Chonde na call lele the other side the file. Demi pete ado. It's old. It's old.
How many years here?
This one should be about 25 or 26 years. But the reason is that no. The ground under is clay. So when the rain is not falling, it becomes dry, so it doesn't get enough. And when rain starts falling again, then it comes up. Yeah. But for me, this is representing my afflagati. You know what is afflagati? Or they should have told you in the way. See, when you are a Bokor, when you become Afa Bokor, there are four main deities that will do for you. In some places you see people put a bamboo and on it. That is to tell anyone who wants to come to a Bokor or a priest that there is a Bokor at that place. That's what we call the afflagati, the dropole in French. May dropole be there? Drapeau,
The flag.
Flag, drapeau. Okay, so that is mine. I didn't want to put a bamboo and make some white thing, so I decided to use the spirit to embody this tree, so that it represents that for me. So it is just an ordinary tree, but it's a spirit. That's why you see we can send it to go and do some work and it will do. It's not just a tree. Yeah. So they will give you Legba also, which we have already met at the gate. Amen. Then we have the Apeli, the foundation, or the stabilizer. Amen. Yo, welcome. Yeah. Obake. Thank you. Okay. So, is supposed to be the Apeli of the house. But me, because I've been doing this work long before I got far, I made my own Apeli, which is where the car is parking. And when it comes, it's not represented, it's just a hole there. But the things that are under there are like something that can go almost up to 20 meters or 30 meters radius. So that one is from Jewish Hebrew Kabbalah mixed with Ewe voodoo things. That's what is there. And I don't know how many people have it in Ghana anyway. I made it myself. So this is the Afa Apeli. So in Apeli, you will see that there is a hoe. In every Apeli you will see hoe.
Hoe?
Yeah, the hoe they use in farming, because our people were farmers, or they are farmers, and the Apeli is a hoe for farm. So our people are farmers, so the hoe is supposed to be included in your foundation in order to let you work and bring good crops for harvest from outside. So in Apeli, you see those things. And then, of course, you see this one who looks like a gun, which is also, our people were also hunters. So they go into the bush for game and bring food home. So those are the end. Of course, the pot is there. We cook inside our pot and all these things. So most Apelis will have these things. And these are the Sophia, another type of Sophia, which talks about the thunder, that our ancestors dealt with thunder. Because the Aves, the main god of the Aves was So. And because our people came out of Yeve, and Yeve is a so or Tanda cult where people pay respect to Tanda. And we were talking about the Fufe and Tanda. Tanda being a hunter, the one that shoots gun and makes the noise. So we also represent that one inside the apeli. And some other broken pots and snail shells and all these things. So this is the apeli. There is one they call Ase. I call Hometobe. Ase. People call it Ase, but people call it Se. People say Seregaji. It has also many names. It is supposed to be the staff of every Bokor. That when you plant it, whatever you say, such things will happen. And when you are traveling or going to anywhere, once you take your assay, all the spirits that work with you will follow you. And wherever you go and you plant it, the spirits will be around you and work with you. So this is the assay. So when you get a fa and you are initiated into fa and you are becoming a priest, they will make a legba for you. They will make a flagati for you. Then they will make apeli, and apeli goes with the staff. So this is the other one that we keep, that we move about. Yeah. Yes. So those of you who have been seeing Nigerian movies, you'll see that the priest will hold it and be walking. So this is the staff of a priest in Afa. We have the voodoo one too. Even the person is not a Afa priest, they also have similar one. They call it Sere Gaji. Yeah.
But you said 4 spirits too.
Apeli.
We said
4.
yes.
The Legba
The Legba, the Apeli,
and
then
Sere Gaji.
Sere Gaji, that's the staff.
Yeah, he has a staff of the spirit.
Oh, okay.
It's also another one.
Okay.
So it's the one that the spirit, the priest holds and takes around if he is going somewhere.
Okay.
But you know, when you are traveling, because of today, terrorism, you can't carry this one in your plane. Unless you have to really wrap it well and send it as a luggage, but not as a carry on.
So how do you do?
No, I don't go with them. I have my, I have other things that I have my own other one that I bring.
Exactly. Yes.
God bless you.
We're going to come to ago zieton. O me yo mauga sobolisa. Me yo mauga kitikata. Me yo mauga ese joto, ame joto. Ese nanu ame. Ese tenanu ame. Woman of heavy, dokun of heavy. Woman of heavy me bien anu dokun of heavy ogbe now. Dokun of heavy me bien anu woman of heavy ogbe. Ese me yo. Na me bien anu me gatenu molo. Me bien la me sese. Me bien agbedidi. Me bien ngogbe yi na mi opete. Vigno la pe legbe. Me yo pete foklami. Me yo me bialo. Me yo she me ham fura show kwese mi fura show pete me do ago. Yo abraxas. Me yo zi adre po do ago. Yo ta adre to be vi me kuna. O wo ve. Eso so ato. O wo ve. Eso so ato. O wo ve. Eso reka. Me yo me do ago. O me yo mi ano zodie anyi Dzoka kachikas gboshi adre. Me ala fa banya gbo mi lolo. Akpe banya gbo mi le joro holo me yo ra keke we. Afokla yin ba mo do adika. We nya pele me matekulo. Etega. Mega no feto na glo fe nya olo. Me na ba na ngeje fe me. Me onye fe olo. Gbonge. Me yo ra keke. E me yo apeli apekpologodo. Azagbaja fo fifo no. Apenyo apeli to e. Agbelenyo apeli to e. Asinyo apeli to e. Ewo nu popo onu no. Enyu ewo no. Evo no asisinkuga. Ama ya siaba agboba fe mo apeli to ko wanyu. Ama yi gbeji aba cha akpefu agboba fe mo apeli to ko onyu. Ama ya gble agboba afeme apeli to ko onyu. Apeli me no amesi enu bia na molo. Apeli me no amesi enu hia na mo. Apeli to enya apelo. Onya tefe me do ago. Yo afeye me voduo pete. Me yo akintola. Me do gbe na mi lo. nyatefe me yo sugumo sugboju be anyi ha dogbe na mi nyatefe me yo didife nu poto kelebe nu poto sasalo nu pete amanu abo do ago na mi ya me do ago me yo sere gaji eba for ke to be wonu afoveto o achireku achirele boko be etu me yo ra kekekeke ya me yo aflanga ti sese be mo no apango apagbon awudi dafa me chi ava apagblen awudi pe vi o adafe jachi na bi kekeke lo oh mo yo fana gonu afagbo ma jeso pepe to mo so le me da pa bi mo yo pele gbe meji eyeku meji woli meji di meji loso meji ngonli meji abla meji akla meji guda meji sa meji ka meji trupe meji tula meji lete meji che meji fu meji pali che tula meyo clever vide ke mo na to ba de obu oro ame to ba de ngade ma po ne di lo chachi na mi kekekeke oh na me aha oh my God, kind but you have a kind on your kind, Javoma kind, Busiva kind, Trovoma kind, and your kind, Dufia kind, Mamu, Taba kind, Gaba kind, Pelipa, Vimeba, Hajadola, Copa, Doji, Fiat, Basromata Dojiolo, Miami Nudao, Miami Hogbao, Miami Bewao, Miami Kakwao, Miami Quemio, Zango, Miami Quevira, Kakakami, Halo. Eme yo jok pata jomaku afokome volo mojiolo echi me volo vudo me gbere kokolo kwa tol fofo me jogbenyo heve jogbenyo me to na ya mo lo moji oto anu kwa pe venyin le fe magbe to ba jo tu so pe duwo mo na te fere ka o jok pata be ye li havi ejovon ba jo yin jok pata fe fia jok pata metro na me gbe da mo lo afi fa gbe ri edina jok pata ne no anyi apemia ajolo jokpata jokpata yin ya tefe me yo lo amesi me gbojire to gbe dente apape luluti zugbo lu ajima ogboju kuro doja lo fun ko be valentine fafa me lo va alo jona pefu ago sapate me yo atigele me yo goro bodu me yo ra keke alafia anami lo anami o pete o to geje me do agolo ahanami keke toboko ayo mi okekesia ipe aha me fo ade olo ejachi fafa fo ade mi ato yen jachi fafa lo ejo me bi ele Ghana o be de olo Ghana o de batume fafa miam lo ho me ne fa mi no lo chichi oba mi jere me je gajire gamagaseon no jejire mi ana me ne bobo na misia mi apetelo Legba Dzoka group evare nu sia me ne bobo na mi ga po ga no odo bubuo nu ye yo no gava do ye yo no va na mi wolo. Okay, we are done with here too. Cho. But if you want to be here, fine. I don't have a problem. But there's air conditioner there fully, so it's maybe. Oh, it's okay. Gallery, anything. You know, when they said we were going to bring the voodoo back, then I was preparing here, so that when they come, we can pack some and we'll make a space for them, so they will all have their places. Yes. Yeah. But when I went to see them, I realized there are plenty. So if anything in the future, then it will be a community team that we have to set up somewhere where everybody will be involved and create a space, a bigger space for them. Yeah, so this is my shrine, African Magic Temple. And as you all know, Antonio was the one who came to first discover us. And then Antonio went back and told her, and then she came. That time I was living in the airport residential area, and then she came, and then we started talking before she came back again when I moved to my new house, and then slowly we were able to come to Bremen, and then later. Zilke also came. I think Ian also came at one more time, I think. Was this your first time here? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Some people also came. And then, of course, Malika, for her, she's been coming long before this Dzoka, Legba Dzoka project. So, that's it.
Stella,
Who brought you there?
told me, oh, I'm sorry, it was on New Year's Eve.
Yes,
They
yes,
were not
yes,
allowed
yes,
to
yes,
leave.
yes,
But
yes.
I know a nice place for you can go. And I can.
So the Afa, as we talk about, that is the Afa oracles on the back of on the wall. Those are the things that the Ewe people inherited from the Yoruba. And that's why when you see Meiji under each one. The word Meiji in Yoruba means double. It is not an Ewe word. And there is no word in Ewe that is Meiji. So when an Ewe priest or Afa Bokor say that Afa is not from Nigeria, they don't know what they are talking about. Because it's only in Yoruba that we have double as Meiji. So this alone points to the origin of Afa and how it came into the Ewes. The Ewes have what we call Iyeve. And inside Iyeve, we have Hebiaso, Mamiwata, Voduda, Sakpata, we have Ajakpa, which is the crocodile, and all Mami, all this. These are what was in Iyeve. So that's why when we are doing the Afa casting, there's a point in the incantation where you say, Anago Ofe Yeve, which is simply and directly pointing to the Yoruba's Yeve. This is the voodoo, or this is the spirituality that we got from the Yoruba people, because the Eves call the Yoruba Anago. So when we say Anago Ofe Yeve, it's just telling you Afa is Anago Ofe Yeve. So there's some priests down south in particular, because they are more vested in Afa. They try to deny the origin of Afa by saying, no, it's not Ewe. They say it is just a similarity. But when you ask them what is the meaning of Meiji, they cannot tell you, because they don't understand the linguistic listing of the word. Yeah. So this is what we are, and this is what we have been doing for ages. And okay, my eldest son, I think Birgit has met her and him. I think you have seen him. This is my eldest son. I was a very young boy when I gave birth to him. Yes, I was 21 years when I gave birth to him.
Wow. Your very first son, your very first.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So he's the Apeli.
Yes. And then, of course, my daughter, they were born in Philippines when I was living in Philippines, and then he herself and the brother, and then I gave birth to Sena and Pele in Japan when I was living in Japan. Then I came back and I gave birth to Kofi's elder brother and other ones. And them, they are also.
The one whose mother is a nun.
The one whose mother is nun, that is Kojo. He is in Hungary. Yes.
The one that came to us in Bremen.
Yes. The mother is was a Catholic nun.
Wow.
Yeah.
We met him. He was deeply into botany, I think.
Yes.
He always found the names and things.
Yes. Yeah. So he is still in Hungary. So.
Maracha, I mean, senior brother, local.
Maracha is the first one, and then Kofi, and then Semefa comes at the before Seto.
Seto is also your son.
Yes. It's also my son. Because in Ewe culture, among all the gods that the Ewes call, which is Mau Sogbelisa, Mau Kitikata, the most revered and the most celebrated is Mau Ese.
That's my name.
Yeah, that's your Ohiniko's name, Mau Ese.
Yeah, the
So-
Christians use it in the same way.
Who?
So now they are Baptists. They are Baptists. They're baptizing their
Children.
with Seli.
Yes. Yes.
That's good.
So, which is the way our people, even the word Mauli is also just talking about God is there. There is God. And then Eseli also is saying that there is God, but Mau Ese. And in every cosmology, Mau Ese is the one that created human being. Mau Sobolisa and Mau Kitikata, they created the world and other things. But Mau Ese is the one, God of destiny, is the one who created human beings, each person according to their nature. That's why no two people's destinies are the same, just like our thumbprints. So Mau Ese is the most celebrated among the Trinity in every cosmology. So I gave my children a Ese name because when Sena was born in Japan, I call him Sena, which means the gift from my destiny. Yeah, because I was traveling through the world, going from India, Pakistan, just going around Thailand, Philippines, Laos, Cambodia, just traveling everywhere. But then finally, when I got to to Japan, I settled, and I had him, so I call him Senam, or Sena, my destiny's gift. That's how the names came. So each one has Seiram, my destiny blessed me. Semefa. Kofi is Mawiena. So which is another name of Sena or this thing, but it's Mawiena. So my destiny, Semefa, my destiny has now quietened down and I'm no more in a rush for anything. And then he became a sector, that which belongs to destiny. Yeah. For now, I don't know.
And Semeko now will be called.
A semeko means your destiny is clear. Semeko now. Yeah. So I like the word "se" so much, and I have also initiated them all into the Mau Ese. In the Eve cosmology, if your Ese is not in the right position, things don't go well for you in life. So that's why when they born a child, they have to find out what kind of destiny this child has. Sorry. Sometimes your father or your mother will want you to become a lawyer. What my earliest interest was to become a pilot. And then I took the examination. I passed for a pilot school in the US. But my father said that he didn't have money at that time to look after me. So I went through teacher training college and I became a teacher. But then finally, I'm now a traditional priest. So whatever. So whatever my destiny had chosen for me, no matter what I had done, it finally had put me to where I can function very well to be able to teach and explain to people. So in every cosmology, the Mau Ese is so strong that you cannot change it. Whatever your destiny has brought you here to do, that's what you are going to do.
All agree to be initiated, or are there also children who say, let's go to the other side, to the Christian side?
Yeah, honestly, I do not really pressure my children to follow my path. But whether it is unfortunate or fortunate for them, they had been seeing me doing this from childhood, from their very infancy, and they had seen people coming from different works of life. Pastors are coming, politicians are coming, businessmen, And all kind of people come in to seek advice, and I am doing this for them. So as they grow, they begin to take interest in what I do. And when they get to the age that I think that they are understanding what I am doing, then I initiate them. But I don't really force any of them. And I from the looks, I have seen that they are not interested in the Christian world, because with the Christianity we have in this part of the world, it does not encourage people who are looking for truth or seeking real knowledge and wisdom to go in there, because here anyone can just get up and become a pastor. Whether they know what they are talking about or not, they do it in such a way that they can only take advantage of the people they are leading, which is my norms in life. I am against taking advantage of people. Yeah. Tara, she does not want to shave her hair for Afa initiation. So fine, I don't have a problem with that. But of late, she is beginning to take interest in so many things, because her son, the little son, was born, and he was, from birth, he was having this asthmatic attacks from time to time, and she would go and sleep in the hospital with him for days, and sometimes it's like she's scared he may lose the life. So Senna did a reading and said it is his destiny. The little boy's destiny is what is worrying him. So we have to, now he never had any attack again. That sickness has come to a closure, and it is not hospital or anything. But because we saw that it was in his destiny to have attack of asthma all his life. But then we were able to separate the negative from the positive and his health. So now the mother is beginning to take interest in what we are doing. And she got initiated into Mami Water. So slowly, maybe as time goes by, and if she has interest in any other thing, we surely will teach her.
So what you did is similar to the argument, the debate about whether the Legba in the basket, right?
Yes.
So you did something like that and
You throw it away.
Okay.
That's a seven. Bechi. It must supposed to be thrown away. But they can only know what is happening in your life through Afa consultation or divination. Without that, you can never know. You can be going to hospital, and as that continue until a point, it becomes a mental problem, and the child suffers it all through their life without knowing exactly what is happening to them. Because not every, they are not physical medicine that you drink or you swallow or anything, but just they are able to see your destiny and align it properly so that it can function perfectly. Yeah.
Which is bad.
Which is bad.
Some people, they said busy. Is that calling bad on themselves, or they are
their name is Bechi. They cannot call people Bechi.
I know someone who is talking one day. He's talking. He's King Mesa.
T. They pronounce only SI, so it becomes SC, which may be normal water. Close. Mina is towards the northern side of.
Also, the language is almost like that.
It's an Eve. It's another form of Eve, but it's very deep Eve. If your ears are not.
Actually, yeah, those who migrated from Elmina, so they also have a variety. So you find a bit of fancy in it. Yes.
That's how we used to speak.
Your people came from that side.
And those people who say CC.
No. I mean, your original people in Magick came from Limina.
They came from the tree side.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll come to that, your point that you raised. Yes, you see, when we pray, Bechi, we have Bechi Von and we have Bechi. And this Bechi Von is the same thing we, in the southern Eve, they call a seven. A domain. We don't usually call the name Ese, but we say Jogbe, Se. we say jogbe se, which still means ese. And that one too is bechi. There's another word for it is bechi. And then another word for it is aklama. The same destiny is aklama, bechi, jogbese, ese. All these are meaning the same thing. But because the Ewe has so many dialects, that's why we were talking about the Anglo Ewe become the standard one that the Germans gave to us, because we have so many dialects and another person from here cannot understand it and somebody cannot understand it. But when we all learn the Anglo basic one, then it is common that we can all now understand each other. Because there are some Ewe words, if they say it, let's say we go to Hohwe and Peki. There are some words when we call it here, only people from that dialect can understand. Like we say, I'm Gagawe. I'm Gagawe. How will we understand it?
I don't even understand.
The leg side, yes. Sobo, leg, from the knee to down here, Gagawe. So if you are not from that place, you can, but then the common language we all understood it, which is Anglo, Eklo. It makes it standard. So that's why the word aklama, bechi, jogbese, ese, they are all meaning the same thing, but from different dialect bases. That's why, and also the rituals are different.
So I made a wrong experiment. I was thinking you said aklama was positive and then bechi was negative.
No, it's the same thing.
Okay, that's how I thought.
That's why they say aklamavon, which is the negative one. But aklama, the positive one. Aklamavon is the cut of the leg when they cut the leg off. So, yes.
But before it comes to the, I have a, does somebody, or can somebody take the aklama, the bechi of another person, the destiny of another person? Is it
No two people's destiny is the same. But if I throw away my bechivon, and then you come and take it, then that negative energy will be following you.
So it means it is possible.
You acquire a negative thing, because if something is dirty and you keep it around, you have dirt.
My positive one can fight against this.
Unless you know how to let your positive one fight that one.
Because it is saying,
yes, everyone says Aklamadinao means your positive side of your destiny has delivered you from the situation which people call lucky. Aklamadinao means you are lucky because your destiny fought for you and took you out or gave you something.
Destiny cannot defend you from this.
No, because you went and acquired it.
And you didn't know.
And so that's why you didn't know. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse.
Some time back when we were talking about saying that you need to know how to work your essence to manifest. So in what ways can one work?
Okay, I will sing the song. Menya wanao, Esendo menya wanao, Esendo menya wanao, Evinue jiji, Esronue dede, Gakpokpo, Agbalenyanya, menya wanao, Esendo menya wanao. Means to be able to work your essay or to let your essay work for you. It is you who will have to work it. How do you work it? By trying to align the positive and the negative in such a way that the positive will be super or have an imposition over the negative one. And how do you do that? First, they remove negative essay for you, or they align it. Then as time goes by, they set up a positive essay for you. And your positive essay has become your personal God that brought you into this world. That God of other religion and all this thing is somebody's story. But you as an individual coming into this world, your destiny is your God. And it's the same destiny that when you die is the one going to go with you, because that's your inner self. When you are here is the one that's going to guide you. If you don't follow nature's rule, you fall into trouble. And if you follow proper rules in nature, you go well. So if your destiny is not properly set and you did not work it well, you cannot get the benefit of what your destiny has brought you here to achieve. That's why we say you have to work it. Once your set is set for you, it becomes something that everything you want to ask, your essay first. Your essay becomes the first thing. And every year, you have to do a reading to find out what your essay wants. And then you do that, then your essay becomes strong. That's why when your essay is strong, before people can attack you, because when we feed essay, we don't use knife to kill animal for essay. It is your own essay that you give the chicken to, and by incantation, the chicken will die. And nobody should feed your essay on your behalf, because that means your essay can be compromised. Now, you cannot call it Dzoka, because it is essay is more of herbs put together into a clay or into something. But you can also call it voodoo in a way, because it is herbs that come together to form God. And there are certain herbs that are only called essay or bechi or aklama or jogbese herbs. It's not just any herb. They are just the same. Then there's another song where they talk about Klo pache menyolo azolinye bude la wodome.
I didn't know who sings that song a lot.
Klo pache menyolo azolinye bude ala wodome. Azolinye bude la wodome. Azolinye bude la wodome. Milie blema ke mio mili. Milie blema ke mio mili. Okay, it could be true, but they say because a watching is true, and everybody eats corn or akple in our communities. So if a watching is used as a prayer point, then if you who has also eaten this thing, you cannot be against it. You have eaten it already, so if you are against it, you cannot overpower it. That could be there. But you see, like voodoo in as a whole, quantum physics. A lot of people don't want to understand it, but we are getting there. Quantum in the sense that I will do something here. There is no connection, there is no wire, there's nothing, but it can happen back in the US and it will take practical effect. So it's actually a science, but our people weren't calling it science, and also the Europeans didn't call it science. So that's why we thought it wasn't a science, but it was a science, or it is a science. You need to put certain things together to generate energy, to create a point where when you use word, then it takes it to wherever you directed it to.
Yes, in French before we go, I wrote a word in human beings, and the human being will be penetrated with the force of this word, and you will fall down and die.
Unless you have given yourself to the Lord and are fortified by the Holy Spirit. I will kneel down. That's the power economy.
le tombe. Frissonne, tombe et meurt, pénétré par la force profonde.
No, let's because this side, this conflict, we call it flower. Yeah, this flower. Many people, even on the field, it has been done. We perform. This has been performed in order to call
Spirits.
not spirit, the ancestors.
Yes, they are also spirits.
Okay. You see, I
They are
am
also
Christian.
spirits.
I am Christian. That's why. So, in order to call their ancestors, so that they could allow them to speak to us.
Of course.
So they did it to call them because they are not. We were not there for any bad purposes, and also they want to be free with us, to be open with us. They want to tell us because some of the time it is said you may not say some things the ancestor didn't allow you. You see, so if you ask them, they will let you say everything freely, for free. You see.
Yeah, because the AV cosmology, the physical world is not that different from the spiritual world of the ancestors. They are all interwoven. That's why whatever we do, the ancestors are part of it in order to build on the whole. The we build a new rope by looking at the old one and then continue. So we don't cut the ancestors off from our daily activities. When I wake up every morning before I go out to do anything, before I even get out of my room, I call upon my ancestors, the Voodoos I work with. I call upon nature that they should guide me through the day and bring me back home safely. And I think that is for every culture. People call upon their ancestors, but even though they may not call it ancestral worshiping, but we, the English, or maybe also other Africans, we believe that our ancestors are not dead, only that their physical body is no more here, but their spirit body is always around, so we could always call upon them to work with us or give us guidance. That's what we activate energies so that they can be strong and act. Water doesn't do that.
Water is peaceful.
Yes, and Jachi doesn't. There are animals when they die, they can become a ghost. Yeah. Human ghost. Yes, they can become a ghost and attack you. It's like a goat. Sheep. And that animal and Magma. There are animals when they die, they can become a ghost. Yeah. Human ghost. Yes, they can become a ghost and attack you.
back out to Dzoka ona. Go back in. I went back there. About the Britain. She don't tell me around, you know, I can't be with her. Me and my own, me and Abamendora. The Columbola, Madame, our door at the door. Madame, who played on the moon. The young girl, Social project, me, Niasi, Yafu, Tobe from Voncujovi, play, Bokor, Kofi, or Niamese. I will all get a man. I think I'm going to talk about my great leader. Oh, come over, son, to administer that for that. I can't be like any other. Madame, also, to double more and bring it to come. You might be angry, and you want to bring more dollar. Younger. That will go in younger, other son. Let me have it. Tamiba. Illusion, Yanovi, Oku, Asamede, to go any professor there. No some background, to go on the Gabi, Asiman, Dr. Miami, I'm a Korean downtown. Dr. Sono to go, I bet to go to the Yam, to go to I get paid for back to work. Was on to me. I'm a Miatella, is on to Mia Ghana Bagoji, Fosella, Chitrana, and I will ask on to Abugoji, I let the Miama be Messi, Wajo, Massa, Uga, Fiale, University of the Geography. Yeah, play and you don't call him or you got one, but you should have a some background. Miami, you saw me too, like the domain. I'm Miami taking back. The Egbella, the Roger and look how we saw. Look how we pop. Musasora, LA, like you want, you can get a copy. No, we saw make down. If I don't have a Siaka National, at that the big belly, then we will be Pola, Yadamana. I am a domain, everything I do. I can never at the Madame, we put a dog, Academia 7, at the Jurat and the alternative doing Yaka Apple. I can't know when I'm not looking. The Victor. Like Kenya, wall and go back. I'm very sorry. Like Kenya, where I thought we move agreement because we are now many. I have a young family. Let me walk here and go for that. Brother, now the car again. You come in. I'm a back. I'm a young of you who again. Young better again. I will. Yeah, about what? Here the movement, and it's all again. Academy Parada, once you have to go, Yana, look at Calabara, so that we have a lot of you want to share a child and a child. Yana, that's a man, the boy never. Yantasi for following me out of you. Yes, me out of woman, about my dog, who gets a me. At the 11th Global conceptualizing African spirituality. Over another man, I said, no, level for me out of you. The next global will come. I ready to talk. Hello, the young Michigo. I'm all the governor of Ojo, I bet I'm a drama. Okay. It's a very young talk before the talk, then get a young from the young of it, they all agree to have it. Can you say that? Omen, fear the young one, they will be one big one there. I see young video, young Novi, father, Dr. Beliana, and a young woman about what the brother Michael Angesira, and I'm a young one and yet Christy Torre, Allo, I may also was not over there, who pay our new or the young woman. Dynamic Yamago go to Fiara, yeah, a problem in Europe. Yàmẹsẹ mi ní ẹjì náà fa náà wọ́n sì fa àtọwọ̀ ẹ̀mí sọ́ọ́ múra ẹ̀mí àtọ́jà pé ọgbà fún àfọ̀tá níbi lẹ́ni àdẹ̀mù ní àròkò tàbí yẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ kékeré ọmọ sọ́ọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ kàmá kọ́tẹ́ ní àkọ́kọ́ ní àròkò kọ́tà sílẹ̀ àyẹ̀kú wọn ní abẹ́ ní àṣọ lójú ní àròkò wọn bí iná lọ fi wọ́n pẹ́rẹ́ ní àṣẹkọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ̀tọ́ wọn kẹ́ra ní àdẹ̀mù ní àròkò wọn gbà. Adamu nyama fi gbẹdadọ eyi ọma adamu nyama amemi oti ga nemi nkọtẹ dọwara ụkwụ amẹka amẹka ẹna ní abọ nọmi yẹn nọ n'alefi anyị. Just giving them the background to the project so you can act. Thank you.
But this one was too complicated for me, but I think I know what my colleague, Professor Gahua, has said. I also noticed that he has introduced all members of our team. I just want to say very briefly something about how the Legba Dzoka project
Just giving them the background to the project so you can act. Thank you.
But this one was too complicated for me, but I think I know what my colleague, Professor Gahua, has said. I also noticed that he has introduced all members of our team. I just want to say very briefly something about how the Legba Dzoka project emerged. And it happened like this. I have been in Ghana, in Ho also, for the first time in 1988, long time. At that time, I started a research on the EP Church, at the time when the EP Church split into off and comma, now Global Evangelical Church. I think they have a convention very near to this place. I got very interested to find out how the mission had operated in a colonial context. And one thing I noticed immediately was that the missionaries preached against what they called worship of idols. And they charged every spiritualist with, of course, the charge of idolatry. I have written about how the mission has diabolized the ever-spiritual realm. And for now, I left it at that. I did not ask what happened to all the items that were dismissed as idols, as fetishes, and so on. And all of a sudden, much later, in 2019, I contacted my colleague in Bremen, Silke Seibold, and I said, what did the mission send to Bremen? Did they collect at all? And Silke said, yes, there is this missionary Karl Spies, she will talk about him. He made a big collection, and a great deal of it is all things dismissed as idolatry. So I rushed to Bremen to see it, and she kindly gave me a lot of pictures. And with these pictures, I went to Accra to visit Dr. Christopher Voncujovi at Afrikan Magick Temple, who I had known for some time through one of my PhD students, Angel Antonio Grossi, who cannot be here. Christopher was excited. He said he always felt he knew must be things taken by missionaries in Europe, from here. He was very, very keen to look at the collection. And so research into this collection. This meant also, of course, that we had to involve some people. Voncujovi, Bokor, who's been doing a lot of research on Bremen mission, Ohini Tofa. So we became a kind of group. What is special about our group is that we come from different knowledge domains. We have studied certain things, but also knowledge domains in the spiritual realm. So Christopher Voncujovi being a master of spirituality. This is a particular kind of science. What makes us special too is that this is a collaboration of other people from Togo and from Ghana. So because the Bremen mission worked across the whole area and in some part of the Vosges in Legba. And our group has gone to Bremen to study the collection. We have been on this for about 2 years, and now we are about to close and to also assemble our findings. This has been an exciting journey, and for me it's very important being able to present our results, but also ask you about your views, because many of you have contributed to the research conducted in the Volta region and also in Togo. So this is very, very exciting. I'm very, very grateful that you agreed to collaborate with such a project coming from the West and all that. It's really a big thanks that you trusted us and worked with us. And so I'm happy. And the next person who will speak is Jan Hüsken from the German Lost Art Foundation. This German Lost Art Foundation, he's the new director starting next week, 1st of September. And we are very happy that he could come here. For he has been working at that foundation for quite some time. It is this foundation which has made it possible for us to get the funding for this kind of research, which takes us here, which has taken our friends from Ghana and Togo to Germany and to the Netherlands. So I happily pass over to Jan Hüsken.
Thank you for the kind introduction. I've been in Poland the last time, 2018, and at that time I didn't knew that I would come back for such a great occasion like this workshop, so I'm very happy to be here with you today. I would like to just give briefly what we do and why we fund projects like this and what we hopefully would like to achieve with such research. German Lost Art Foundation is the central point in Germany for all projects that deal with unlawfully assessed goods. So a strong focus of our funding is on projects dealing with provenance research. That means these projects look into the acquisition context of items acquired. And hopefully in the end these projects lead to discussions that might lead to a return between collection holders and the former owners of these items. The foundation is an organization funded by the Federal Commissioner for Culture and Media and the federal states in Germany. It was set up in 2015. The purpose of the foundation is to support research with regard to losses of cultural goods and collections through databases and its funding of provenance research projects. The foundation funds provenance research in 3 different research contexts: Nazi-looted cultural property, cultural goods and collections from colonial context, that's the department that is led by me, and cultural property expropriated in the Soviet occupation zone. Funding with regard to collections from colonial context was established in 2019 due to a decision of the federal government to strengthen its efforts to deal with Germany's colonial past. Since then, nearly 100 projects have been funded with a total volume of 9 million euros. The projects cover all aspects of exposition context under colonial rule. They focus on ancestral remains in German collections, research on items plundered during military expeditions, and projects with focus on single collection items or basic and contextual research. In recent years, missionary collections have become a larger issue in German provenance research, so that we are now funding several projects dealing with missionary collections, and that is also a topic of rising importance for the Protestant and Catholic Church in Germany. The form of research that is supported by my department is often called post-colonial provenance research. That does not only mean that it refers to the historical era these projects deal with, it is as well a specific form of methodology in this provenance research. That means that our projects are often set up already in the beginning with international partners, so they then work as partners or co-applicants in the projects. It means that in these projects, many partners bring in their perspectives and different views and different forms of knowledge backgrounds into the research. Provenance research is an important step prior to restitution in order to build up an international relationship with the communities of origin of these objects, and so that people get to know the collections, their history, and can discuss the possibilities how to deal further with these items. For me, it is a great honor to speak to you today directly, and I'm pleased that the Foundation has been able to fund this research project, and I'm really looking forward to today's presentation and discussions. And I thank the organizers for inviting me to this workshop, and for the warm welcome. Thank you.
Look how we look at it. She will let us know about the speech collections. Or suffer speech, the project, Amania, Asset, so.
Judge me by single words if they are going to find this expected. First, I want to the Überseemuseum Germany, and this is how it looks like from the outside. This is what we have to do behind the curtains with our work. The first thing is collecting, but as I can assume you today, this is really restricted. We really decide only to collect things that are proper, that for example are bought by an artist or bought by markets, so it's not like in former times. And collecting is restricted. This is it's really important to know. But we do lots of preservation and conservation. That means if somebody we take really good condition, that the items that are in the collection are stable for many, many hundred years. That's why they are still that good in their condition. And if somebody is broken, our restorers are even able to repair it. On this picture, you can see some glass pearls, broken glass pearls, and they know how to fix them again. Then it's really important that we do documentation. This is just a picture from our database, and there are many, many fields where we fill in information so that we can put together all the information so that somebody wants to work on the item, we can deliver all this information to the people. And then we are doing some research, like the Legba Dzoka project. And at least to digitalize the collection, because it's important that everybody outside has access, not only the people at the museum. This is behind the curtain. But for sure, we are also doing exhibitions. And the exhibitions, there are some change as well. We started to realize that we can't do this exhibition alone. Just the one from Germany talking about the world is not working any longer. For example, for the Afrikan exhibition, we asked some artists for their statements. Or for the Oceania one, we also asked 2 curators to come to Bremen and to work with us. And then something that is really, really important in our house is that we do education. We do education for young people, but also for old ones, for everybody. It's important that we introduce them to other cultures and to the issues we are talking at the museum. And it's also important because Bremen, it's a multicultural city. There are a big community from Africa, for example, from Togo and Ghana. There are many people living there. How we can involve them with the education at the museum. But now to the collection piece. This is how it is presented at the museum at this time. There's one showcase where we are already talking about how Spies collected the items. And then we are lucky that we've got a storage building, and most of the collection is in the storage building, but part of this building is open to the public, so that everybody can go there and have a look on that. And as you realized, we know that the part of the collection is involved to colonialism, and that we have to do provenience research and to think about how it was collected, and to ask about the future. On the left-hand side, you see Karl Spies, because now we go back to the beginning of the museum. And he was this missionary who collected, and he came to Africa the first time in 1892, and then he came back in 1896 to Bremen. This was the year the museum was opened. And the new curator working there, it's the man with the hat on the right-hand side. His name is Schultz. And this man said, oh, thank you that you bring 60 items from Africa, but they are all household and clothing and hats, something like this. Next time, if you go out there, go and select some spiritual items. So it was the curator who engaged bees to collect the spiritual items. And so it's really important that it was not the missionary itself, but the curator who did this. This was the documentation at the former time, and as you can see, it's really, really bad. Every item that was country, and that's it. But Karl Spies, he noted quite many information on the collection. So the museum knew about the background, at least about the background that Karl Spies noted and gave to the museum. And Karl Spies and Mr. Schurz, they also published about that. And at the exhibition, you can see, this was like the exhibition looked in former time. There was a showcase that shows items from Togo. Here you can see, it's really present in the main part of it was at the main part of the museum, and it looked like that at that time. This is the Spies collection that was shown at the museum right from the beginning. And as you can see, they also showed some pictures with the items. And but I asked about how many information they gave to the public at that time. It was not that much. It was only some keywords, and I'm sure that the visitors, they did not realize what it was, what it is behind all that. So after the Second World War, there were only some items shown. It was really reduced, and even some years later, nothing from the Togo collection was shown until we started to work on Karl Spies again. So at least this is a paradox. The fact that the objects were taken has preserved them. Now they are the starting point for detailed research, and we are trying to make them speak again. That's why I have now a short slideshow to give you an overview of all the sources that we, these are the collection that we have in Bremen. It's only some of them, just some detailed pictures. We could also figure out that about 100 items Spies gave to another collection in another town in Lübeck. He also collected botanical records, zoologic specimens. The pictures I already took. These are the meeting of the elders of the Anglo region in Peter. So maybe some of the forefathers might be on the picture. This is another picture showing the house. You can read this. It is the words from that time. The house of Afrikan priests. This is what they used at that time because they didn't know how to call it. Then we've got lots of hidden sources, lots and lots and lots. And what's really good news is that the ones that are kept in Bremen, they are now online, that everybody can ask for them. This is really important because you know in Loé, we've got Ohini Tofa, Asima Shadi with us. They studied German and they know how to read this old writing. And they now can use all this information without asking in Bremen. just using it, work with that, doing some research, that is really great information. And to show how this publication might be really interesting, I picked up this one, and you can see it's about medicine that the Ewe makes from herbs. And maybe you can read the Ewe words. I can't pronunciate, maybe Pacho, could you read some?
Later on, Anita Bache, sorry, they say you pronounce Ewe as German, so even if you don't understand, you can try to
What I want to show you with that is that there is much more information than only the one on the collection that might be interesting for you and your history that I kept in the women and then now try to open that everybody can use it. We also could get to know some of the descendants of Karl Spies and to ask them about the family. On the left-hand side is his youngest daughter. She's dead now. At this time, 2005, she was more than 90 years old. And then we get to know the grandson and the granddaughter. And they still could tell us lots of things about the family. And then you will realize this one, at least two of you. This is the big silk tree next to Tierney. And it was really, when we visited this place, I just had some quotations by Spies with me, and I wrote them. And at that time I wrote, got really like, wow, the name you mentioned, he's my ancestor. Peter Christ is the ancestor of Gottlieb, who is here, and Peter Christ was traveling with Karl Spies. So we also have got some internal connection, and so today I brought some pictures from the archive and some readings to Gottlieb, so that she know the face now of Peter Christ, the handwriting, and there's also a letter in Ewe. I even don't know what is written inside. So you see how important it might be for your own history, the information that kept there. And then these are the places might be interesting as well, like the houses the missionaries lived, or at least even in Bremen we have some places that tell about the history. So thank you very much for this short overview, and now we will go on.
How we work as a team. As Sylvia already said, a lot of these other sacred cultural assets were assembled at a time where Europeans were the only one doing the curating and writing about these cultural assets. And so the fundamental logic of coming together as a team was based on this sense of transnational partnership and interdisciplinarity to be able to have a very strong body of researchers to reconstruct knowledges around these sacred cultural assets that we are studying. So as you can see there, we have all, not everyone is here in this picture, but the core of the team is there. We have Dr. Messi, who is coming from a background of linguistics. Of course, Professor Benit Meyer, who has a very rich background in anthropology, religions, and philosophy. Myself and Malika, coming with art history background. We have Honorable Professor Voncujovi, also coming with a very rich history and a very deep knowledge in archaeology. And then we have Dr. Voncujovi, who I'll show very shortly. He also came with his practical experience in photo, because we, as researchers, we only know about the intellectual bits, but we need insiders with the practical knowledge of what we are dealing with, because these are sacred materials, sacred knowledge systems, and we want to be able to do things the right way. So he, of course, was there to guide us in all these aspects. And then there's Angel Antonio, who is not here, and then Bokor, who also in certain stages of our research, together with the guidance of Bokor, Dr. Christopher Voncujovi, consulted AFA to be able to penetrate some of these cultural assets and to gain knowledge and give us leads on how to think around some of these issues that we were interested in. Next slide, please. So before we began our partnership, our research, when we went to Voncujovi, asked for permission from the entities, from the sacred cultural assets that we are going to study, the spirits that resided in them, because according to him, they were still alive and very much active, and so we need to pay reference to them before we begin anything. So I'll just show this short clip for you to see how we paid respect and homage to the ancestors, because some of the spirits that were residing in these receptacles had not received libation or offerings for so many years, and it was important for us to do that before we even initiate any process. So mind that you can show that. So you can see this is higher than that. That's all. No, by singing louder than this. It's only coming through there, not coming through this. It's fine, it's okay. It's okay. So next slide, please. So you have a sense of how we quote, because the museum also has very strict rules and regulations, so we couldn't directly quote a libation on the actual physical cultural assets. So Dr. Voncujovi did it this way. And so there's a slide before this one. There's a slide before it. Go next. Next. Okay, it's okay, it's fine. So before we began studying the Smith's collection, we had to distinguish between the sacred materials and the sacred. Sylvia said in her presentation, he started collecting domestic household items like utensils and farming implements and traps and things like that, until the curator Schutz told him to bring things of magical significance or spiritual related materials. And so in the first stages of our studies, how we worked, we had to distinguish between the spiritual and the secular to be able to focus on the Legba Dzoka specifically. And here we are at the depot where we took each of the Legba Dzoka one by one, each single one, we took them one by one, studied them, we got guidance. So Tommy Voncujovi usually served as the lead to give us some background information before we even probe further to really understand what this Dzoka or this Legba is about. And then, like Silke showed, the sources that we relied on were some of Species' own writing, because he made some small captions on some of the cultural assets that he collected. And then you can see from Bokor taking a closer look at one of the Dzoka that we were studying. And he also did a lot of documentation by taking the dimensions and also some specific details. And I and Angela Tommy also did a lot of photography. We had to photograph all these sacred cultural assets one by one to be able to also have this documentation for future reference. Next slide, please. And so after our workshop, our internal workshop at the Legacy Museum, what we did was that we had an open forum and shared some of our preliminary findings with the Ghana Togo community in Germany, which we thought was very important, because this was a way for them to also connect with their heritage, even though they are overseas. And so I'll end it here, and then let's probably continue. You come later, okay.
Now we move to our research in the spirituality and Christianity, and that is mercy.
Yes, okay. Dr. Ajun.
Okay, thank you very much. Next we have access to the Bokor and Mongola Essen, Safio, Qatar, I was explaining that access to these collections are restricted, and the keys are not just with anybody. You have to go through a series of doors just to protect them.
So thank you very much. I am Messi Ajokuga, and I am the linguist in the group. Messi Ajokuga, presentation ano egbe Bokor. Pele Jojo Meluna na ope wopele ni epe a ope Bokor you want now. So the topic is language and nature in Eve's spirituality. I will focus very much on terms and names and how they activate this world, spiritual world that the Eves have. Please, I want to put a disclaimer on. I am not posing as an authority in the domain. I have come to the field, I have just tried to see what I have collected and then present for further discussion. I am not an authority, and so the authorities will come after my presentation. So, conceptualizing the Eve's spiritual world. Leke Efia Opona Bokome Kekela Mini. Efia Ope Amayenya has a God. And that establishes the relationship, the close relationship they have with nature. Their spiritual world is closely tied with nature, and language being the binding element. And so I present an image of a young person here with an eye to see the world. So the young person, this young person's eye is to see the world. And I'm representing the young person as the Eve who finds himself in a world that he must relate to. Now, how does this happen? Because it is not just a physical world that they inhabit, they also see a spiritual world. So, in relating to this world, there is always a close connection regarding observation and categorization. That is always fundamental. So they observe closely what this world is made of, and they categorize them just so they can relate to them. In the every worldview, as I've gathered on the field, it is a relationship established between the humans and the spirit world so that harmony can be established when we talk about the cosmology. And so, at the first level, they identify what we call terminologies. Terminologies are just broad frameworks that separate one group from another. And it is at this terminological level that we got the very title of our work, Legba, Dzoka. There are other terminologies such as Tron, such as Age, among others. These are terms that represent categories of this world they inhabit. Now, having gotten the terminologies or the classifications, they need to establish a direct link with these items, and so they give them names. Names actually identify individual elements and establish close relationships with them. So this is what I'm trying to explain as we go on. What do I want to do? I want to explain the terminologies because one of the fundamental aims of this provenance research is to know what exactly we are dealing with and how the technologies or the associations given to these items or entities are wrong or right. At the end of the day, I hope we are able to tell whether it's wrong or right. So we interrogate the terminology Legba. Legba, like I said, is a term. What exactly does Legba mean? I get this, what I'm going to present is an analysis of the data I have. So when I even think of a Legba, they're thinking of something that is made by humans. He's thinking that it is a combination of entities of this world plus their natural spiritual forces backing them. When these things are identified as their forces, they are put together in a systematic way. It is never chaotic. It follows systems. Now, when they are put together, they use words, which is language, to put them together to create the spirit world that they relate to. In the creation of these two then, all these elements have a physical part, which is visible, and the invisible part, which we cannot see. So a Legba has the physical aspect of it, the ones we can see,
Did you know there's a voodoo shrine in the heart of Accra? This is African Magic Temple, a voodoo shrine led by Bokor Christopher Voncujovi, a renowned voodoo and Afa priest who also happens to be an OG international magician from Hohwe, Ghana. He has performed across Asia and Africa, entertaining and inspiring tens of thousands with the joy and wonders of magic. In 2007, along with his family, he dazzled an audience filled with African presidents and world leaders during the African Union Summit in Accra. Now back to African Magic Temple. For over 30 years, AMT has safeguarded and educated the world about authentic West African spiritual traditions rooted in Ewe Voodoo and Afa. Through thousands of hours of online content, AMT has made voodoo knowledge and practice more accessible while redefining the global narrative around the practice. We provide spiritual consultations, ancestral feeding rituals to honor your ancestors and empower yourself, as well as a range of various initiations. Every year, AMT welcomes and supports practitioners and knowledge seekers from all walks of life on their journey to connecting and learning more about indigenous African spiritual practices, heritage, and philosophy. Through interactive and experiential shrine tours, AMT has hosted visitors from across the world, including groups from NYU's Public Health Masters Program and Birthright Africa, a diaspora organization based in the US. We are even working with the University of Bremen in Germany to repatriate stolen voodoo from the colonial period. And yes, we did speak with the voodoo through an Afa divination, and they are very much alive. African Magic Temple isn't just a shrine. It's a living bridge between past, present, and future, and is undoubtedly a powerful pillar for cultural tourism in Ghana. Did you know there's a voodoo shrine in the heart of Accra? This is African Magic Temple, a voodoo shrine led by Bokor Christopher Voncujovi, a renowned voodoo and Afa priest who also happens to be an OG international magician from Hohwe, Ghana. He has performed across Asia and Africa, entertaining and inspiring tens of thousands with the joy and wonders of magic. In 2007, along with his family, he dazzled an audience filled with African presidents and world leaders during the African Union Summit in Accra. Now back to African Magic Temple. For over 30 years, AMT has safeguarded and educated the world about authentic West African spiritual traditions rooted in Ewe Voodoo and Afa. Through thousands of hours of online content, AMT has made voodoo knowledge and practice more accessible while redefining the global narrative around the practice. We provide spiritual consultations, ancestral feeding rituals to honor your ancestors and empower yourself, as well as a range of various initiations. Every year, AMT welcomes and supports practitioners